Welcome back, lovelies, to Happy Little Roundabouts. This is episode 1857C. Although I didn't know that at the time when I was recording it, I'm doing this extra breaking up in post. And by the way, I didn't realize it at the time, and I forgot to say it a few seconds ago when I was recording the ending to the other video. I forgot to divide by 2 when I was calculating my deceleration lane length. So yeah, we'll have some nice leisurely deceleration lanes where you can even in the snow you can comfortably come to a deceleration from highway speeds down to the loop speed. Anyway, on with the rest of this interchange design. Got our loop ramps. That's half of the ramps are in our interchange. There need to be 8. We have done 4. Where are the remainder of our ramps going to be? We need... What have we not covered already? Eastbound to northbound we need to do. And then a right turn ramp here, right turn ramp here, right turn ramp here. Well, eastbound to northbound will basically just be built into the westbound to northbound ramp. Or maybe not. I might have sort of designed myself into a bit of a pickle here, because if I was going to just left turn across westbound traffic, can't do it here when you're already bridging over these other ramps. I know what I'll do. Since we're not treating this as a freeway, or even possibly allowing it to be downgraded to expressway, to a conventional road, actually. Since it only goes like 3/4 of a mile to the town here. What I will do... I'll make a left turn lane that just kind of runs parallel for a while, crosses over the westbound lanes where it gets a chance. Yes, I like this plan. I do like this plan. Okay. So what do I want to do first? Let's get these right-hand ramps taken care of. Now this one we could make a pretty short one, but does it really make sense to have traffic slow down to 25 miles per hour to make a right simple off, simple on connection? I don't think so. So we'll go with like 50 miles an hour sounds good, which means we need 4 times the radius of these, or 2650 foot radius. And since this is already a deceleration lane, I think I'll just have it either peel directly out of it, or if it comes up here, then it'll be the usual treatment. And then I can just extend this deceleration lane into it, really. Okay. Construction line. $18 this way. $6 this way. Make room for the transition curves, so we do 4 and 4, and at this point I think we actually don't need that, because we'll be coming up with a slightly different exit line. We'll do our offset distance. What radius did I say? That was 2640. It's a half mile. Oh. Well, that'll be a heck of a sweeping ramp. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. Okay, what if we do... What's the speed of a 17? That's what I've been doing. Wait a minute. $17.60 divided by 4 square root. What? Something's not right here. I'm screwing something up here. A equals v squared over r. AR equals v squared. $83. 1760 is going to be a 55 mile per hour ramp. $72 per second if I do a 1320-foot radius ramp. Which is basically 50 miles per hour. Okay, yeah. 1320. Oh, yeah. Twice the radius of my loops. No, it is 4 times the radius of my loops because the diameter is 660. Okay, my world is making sense again. Construction line offset of 1320. Alright, there's going to be our center. And it looks like I'm going to have to extend that a bit. before I delete those, I'll do 2640 off of them. Wrong way. And do I even need this one anymore? Not really. Okay, circle, radius 1320, make it a center line, centered there. That doesn't look right. Yeah, those are tangent. Okay. Yep. I offset from the wrong place. Okay, we'll do 1320 minus 4 is 1316 from these. There to the center, and the center to there. Not ready to... That one's not even applicable. I need to do perpendicular to here, line through here. Okay, and parallel 12 feet, extend 440. There's the line. Extend that to there. Delete that. Perpendicular. Offset at 1316 from here to there. Trim it there, make a line. Parallel to this through there. extend that like that, extend that like that. You know, while we're at it, let's just show doing this like this. We'll do there. Okay, now we've got wedges for our transition curves, and kind of embedded in that a wedge for our actual ramp curve, which we will now trim at that endpoint. And wait, huh? I already trimmed that? I must have messed that up somewhere. Or, wait a minute. That's... What the heck? That's not the behavior I would have expected. Okay, I need to... I'll just delete that and then use the trim function to actually extend that to there. Okay, yeah, back to business as usual. Oh, oops. Need to go there, and then there to there. Okay, now that curve is done. Oh, forgot something. Wait a minute. I botched something. Yep, I botched something. That is not the correct angle. Did I delete the wrong thing? Let me try extending that 4 feet. Make a perpendicular. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now this, we need to cut it in 2 places. There, and why is it already cut like there? Weird. Doesn't usually do that with circles. Okay, so now we've got this right. Trim that frontage road some more. Okay, now what we're going to do here, draw a line from there to where it's perpendicular. Use that as a trim target for those. Lengthen by 440. Divide that there. Shorten it another 110. Negative 110. And connecting line. Oh, and we're going to need to divide that there. Now let's do our ETWs. Oops, right side only for 6 feet. And left side 9 feet. There we go, and I should just need a single trim both for that. Actually didn't need that one. Okay. Southbound exits are done. Northbound exits are done. We just need to do both eastbound exits and one westbound exit, aka one southbound entrance and two northbound entrances, which will be mostly accomplished with one ramp. This will be a good time to hit save. This is starting to look pretty nice, isn't it? Okie dokie. What are we going to do from here? Let's do this eastbound to southbound ramp next. And I think I'll actually start by defining the merge with this ramp. We will need 18 feet off of its existing ETW. And let's have it pass through that point. Feet of merge over 440 distance. Will be this angle. Oops, over here to change the layer. And just for now, I'm going to extend that all the way out to there. We'll figure out this curve later. First, I want to actually, excuse me, I want to actually see this merge through. So we can't just do that. That's too abrupt to merge because the lane you're merging into just kind of starts to curve into the lane that's merging in, and that's no good. So we need a curve of radius comparable to this. Let's say minus 18 feet. The radius of this curve is what, 3520? Yeah. So we will do a curve of radius 3520 minus 18 is 3502. For some reason, I'm not actually quite comfortable with this method. I've never really did get the hang of doing these right. I suppose I should have the same deflection angle through each arc segment. Okay, time for some construction lines. So we've got a chord here. And we'll do our 12 and 440 to get the angle we need for the chord of the other thing. Okay, so here's the angle that our chord on the merging ramp needs to take. And we will do parallel through this point. And it needs to go to where? Let's just extend this to a more usable, through a more usable area. Okay, let's do a little trick here. Perpendicular to there. Reflect it across this chord line. Should give us our ending angle, or perpendicular to our ending angle, actually. Delete original in this case. And this was pretty close to passing through that point. But it's actually... what's that perpendicular to? That is perpendicular to there at this end point. Almost. Wait a minute. Let's just redraw that. How did that end up stopping there? Oh well, let's just say it'll be perpendicular there. So we'll do parallel to this through the next curvature change point. Okay, so we've got our chord, we've got our endpoints. Nope, not perpendicular to that. Perpendicular to that we want. And meet them. Now let's do our arc. One advantage that I had in high school geometry class was I immediately saw the application of rules of geometry to highway design, which kept me rather interested in the techniques of construction of arcs and lines and whatnot. And here I am sort of applying those in a kind of a internalized and optimized way. Now what radius did we end up with here? Length, total length, angle. No, that's the chord. radius 3504. So not 3502, but 3504.049985. It doesn't really matter that much. Okay. Repeat the process for the next curve segment. Here's what's going to really be inflating the length of this this episode here. Doing this taper process that I've not really done before. Yeah. Oh well. Let's do our next chord. And parallel and lengthen. And draw a new line. Parallel through point. Extend it to a useful area. Mirror that line. I'll keep the original this time. Parallel to that through the next curvature change point. We can delete that. Extend that line to meet there. Trim this chord, even though we really won't need it for much longer anyway. Actually, I don't think we need it now, but I'll leave it there for the moment. This has a radius of 1737 compared to what it's merging in with of 1760. It's 22.5 feet tighter radius, but is that 22.5 foot difference? Let's measure line midpoint to midpoint. 21. Okay, that's reasonably close. Repeat the process again. Make our chord. Parallel at 12. I'll do it now. Parallel at 12. Lengthen by 440. Draw a new line. That endpoint to that endpoint. Delete this chord and its parallel. Parallel this line through this point. Delete this one. Mirror this. And make a parallel of that through the next curvature change. Oops. Extend, trim, don't need that here anymore. Meet these two lines. Finally make our arc. And we're done with the curving. What curvature did we end up with here? Radius 3507 as opposed to 3520. Yeah, it seems about right. And we'll just do perpendicular through this endpoint. Okay, that does it for this ridiculously complicated taper. Let's do our ETWs for this. Nine feet on the left. We only need to go as far as there. Six feet on the right. And we can delete that. Okay, so that merge is done. Now we can focus on the much simpler task of making the actual ramp and its curve. Construction line 6 feet out. And 4 feet out for the transition curve. 4 feet off of this for the transition curve. Yeah, I'm gonna use my loop method again, maybe. Now, I'll go back to what I was doing before, partly because it's a little easier to get feedback about whether or not it's going to collide with that loop ramp if I do it this way. So if I do a radius of 1320 between there and there, yeah, that's too much. That's too much. If I do 880, what does it look like? That's more reasonable. If I do 660, what does it look like? Not so good. 880 it is. Now, what is our speed on that going to be? 4 feet per second times, what was it, 880? 880 feet. 3520 feet squared per second squared. Square root 59.329 feet per second, or 40.45 miles per hour. So it's a 40 mile per hour curve. That's reasonable. That's definitely reasonable for this movement. You're going northeast to practically southwest. Well, east-northeast to south-southwest. So that certainly doesn't need to be a high-speed movement. Plus, you're just coming out of a town anyway. So 40 mile per hour curve it is. Now we don't need this construction line anymore. We don't need this construction line anymore. Looks like this intersection here is going to be right on the edge of the interchange. Logical enough, I suppose. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, that should be fine. Because it's not like a private driveway, so technically access is still controlled beyond it. Alright, let's do our transition curves. Back to the other method. 880 times 2 is 1760. There. There. Now, do we have... That's easily accessible. Okay. Alright, just making my centers more easily accessible here. Yeah, there, there. Now divide this one, there and there. Divide this one, there and there. Finally divide this, there, and there. Oh, did it do... Huh. Alright, that never was a complete circle. Oh yeah, this will be fine. Alright, time to do our ETWs. Whoops. Change document setting. And I'm commenting on things you can't see because the menus are not visible. on the recording. 9 feet. Hope I'm not disturbing my husband too much. He's trying to sleep in the same room here.
I'm
good. He's good, as you can hear. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Extend that to there. Lengthen it. I really should learn the shortcut for this tool. LE. By 440. Oh, that puts it there. This really doesn't have to be exact. LE minus 110. Draw a line from 2 points as LI. That's another one that I really should learn. Okay, now let's just fix up the rounding here. That works nicely. Okay, we just have basically one more ramp to do, which will sort of act as 2 ramps. Let's call it 1.5 ramps. How long have I been recording anyway? 2 hours? Oh boy. Yeah, this probably should have been a 3-parter. Oh well. See, I have ADD. I get hyper-focused on things like this. Alright, well, we're almost done. Maybe I will make it a 3-parter. I mean, I'll keep working on it now, but you've been sitting watching this for 2 hours now, or 1 hour if you've been watching it at 2x speed, which honestly, I recommend. This is pretty dull when I stop and think about things, and all you can see is maybe the mouse cursor moving around. So, yeah, catch up with me on episode 1857C, which I'm going to record right now, but since you might not be watching it right away, I will say thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. I would appreciate it. Have a nice day, lovely viewers, and please come back for the next one. I should really get a musician to play my credit song. Yes, indeedy, yes, indeedy. More credits. There they go. Bye-sies.